So it's finally been revealed that the next 7-star raid is actually going to be Greninja like we first predicted. In this video, I'm going to go over why I believe Klefki is the best Pokemon to raise now before we even know the moveset. If you are looking for a breakdown on what Greninja could have, just have a look at my previous video because I go into a little bit more detail there. Now, when it comes to this raid, there's already been a few counters that have been thrown out. You've got Garchomp, Clodsire, Dry Skin, Toxicroak. All of these are Pokemon that can do very well against Greninja, assuming that Greninja doesn't have any moves that is going to be super effective against them. So, for example, Clodsire and Garchomp don't want to get hit by an Ice Beam. Clodsire and Toxicroak don't want to get hit by Extra Sensory. All of these Pokemon have something that Greninja could use and could be plausible, and that's why I don't believe you should raise them until we actually know the movesets, because you could go through all that effort and then find out that you need to raise something up really quickly and you only have a couple of days. So in my previous video, I did mention that Tinkerton, which is Fairy and Steel, does resist a lot of the movesets that Greninja could possibly have. It also has some pretty decent health and special defenses, so it can survive a lot of the hits. But the main issue with Tinkerton is the fact that it doesn't really have much offensive pressure that it can put out. It's going to be super good as a supporter, especially for a special attacker, because it does get access to like fake tears. It can use Skitter Smack, which will lower Greninja's special attack. So it's going to be really good on the defensive side and supportive side of things, but it's not going to be able to be very offensive. However, we do have Klefki. Klefki has the exact same typing as Tinkerton, so it has the exact same resistances. On the defensive side of things, it might be a little bit weaker than Tinkerton, but on the offensive side of things, it does get access to things like Stored Power, Calm Mind, Iron Defenses, and it also gets Metal Sound as well. But the main thing that Klefki get is actually Prankster. So when it comes to this raid, Greninja is most likely going to get a free turn. It might set up Rain Dance, might double team, it might do an attack. But then after that, you can basically use your Klefki's Prankster to Calm Mind. So basically you're boosting your special defense before Greninja attacks. Or if we find out that it's a physical Greninja, we can use Iron Defense and boost that up. And then from there, we can basically just keep buffing ourselves before Greninja hits us. So our mediocre defensive stats actually get better as the raid goes on. You just go max HP, max special attack. And then once we get enough buffs going, we hit Stored Power. And much like Slowbro for Cinder Race, we should definitely one-shot it. Now, to go along with this plan, you do also need a Pokemon to kind of lower its special defense. Klefki can do it itself. It does have access to Metal Sound. So if you're doing this with a bunch of other Klefki, you can get one to basically just do Metal Sound spam. You can get another one to kind of run light screens. And then you can have one that sits there and kind of busts itself up ready to attack. Now, like I previously mentioned, there is possible that Greninja might have access to Haze. So it's definitely a good idea to bring a support Pokemon along that has access to Taunt. That way you can kind of taunt kind of at the right spot, which means you're not going to raise your stat boosting and it will make things a little bit easier. Now, to kind of showcase why I think Klefki is capable of doing what Slowbro did, I just went onto a damage calculator and did some basic stats. So what we can see here is kind of what the calculations were for this Slowbro that was one-shotting Cinder Race. So after those type of boosts, you were doing about like 3,000% damage. Obviously, these Pokemon have a bit more HP because they are raid bosses. But if this 3,000% was what all it took to kind of one-shot Cinder Race, then it's very quite possible that the exact same threshold will be useful to kind of one-shot Greninja. So once you do like 4 Calm Minds or 3 Calm Minds and 1 Iron Defense, your Klefki can actually get to these levels. And that's why I believe it should be able to one-shot. Now, when it comes to items, you can use leftovers so that when you are hit, you're constantly getting healed back. Because as you can see over here, it's not going to do that much damage to you, so you should be able to heal most of that back. And you can also run like Twisted Spoon, so you do a bit more damage with your Store Power when it actually goes up. But yeah, this is why I believe that Klefki is going to be a very good Pokemon to kind of start off with. Obviously, once we can see the movesets, maybe other Pokemon will get a chance to shine, or we can definitely check out what the counters are. But Klefki is a Pokemon that pretty much no matter what it has, it should still be useful. If it's not going to be useful as the main attacker, you definitely would still be able to use it as kind of the support mon. You just change a couple of the moves up and just go like the light screen and stuff like that, Thunder Wave, whichever. So Klefki is definitely what I'm going to be raising first to kind of go into this. And I will probably have those other Pokemon I previously mentioned on the back burner just in case. Now, like always, if you are enjoying this content, please let me know by leaving a like down below. It's super helpful for me. Also, leave a comment saying which Pokemon you're looking forward to use the most. Are you going to be trying to go Clodsire Garchomp? Are you going to use Toxicroak? Gastrodon is another safe bet as well, unless Greninja runs Grass Knot, but I think that's probably the least likely of all the moves. Or if you don't think Klefki is a good idea, let me know as well. Always happy to debate about all this type of stuff. So yeah, have a conversation with me in the comments and I will happily be there to have a look. Also, if you want to be notified when new videos go out, just make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And yeah, that's it for me, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers!